Hey guys, welcome to day 5, the final day of my little mini series of my top 5 favorite panic sensations. Today's is dizziness. And my guess is if you've ever had anxious, revved up, panicky energy, you've been dizzy at least once or twice. That might manifest as actual like spinning or feeling just unsteady on your feet, like you might topple over, or feeling like a need to sit down or lie down even, or hold on to something. However yours manifests, dizziness is definitely one of the most common, normal manifestations of revved up anxious energy. Now, it's interesting because I think we all know there's nothing medically wrong. I know some people like go try to have their inner ear checked out or do all these other things to see maybe there's some physical cause, and generally there's not. It's just a very normal thing that happens when our body gets in on the action of anxiety or panic. Normal, and yet everyone I work with and everyone I talk to about it says, Missy, I don't care if it's not dangerous. I know it's not dangerous. I know it's not a medical issue. I hate it. What can I do? It's ruining things. It's making my life small. I'm sitting things out. I'm not going to things I used to enjoy. Help. And yes, there is help, but it's not in avoiding things, and it's not in finding just the right thing to not feel dizzy, to not have the manifestation of anxiety. If there's anxiety, it's going to be felt in the body in some way or other. So what I would like to suggest is that the actual suffering is not the dizziness itself. Yeah, that's not comfortable. And I want to point out, people pay a lot of good money to be dizzy. People pay to ride on crazy spinny rides. People pay for those things I've seen in, outside malls and things that like invert you and then tilt you back up just to make you dizzy. So if there are thousands, probably millions of people out there in the world paying to be dizzy, paying to have the feeling of they're about to fall down, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. If people, I'm not starting over. If people are paying really good money to be dizzy, I want you to really see that your dizziness is not causing your suffering. You're not hating and suffering because of the dizziness. You're suffering and hating because you're believing the meaning your mind is giving the dizziness. If you had wanted to be dizzy, if you were on the teacups at Disney World and you were completely crazy dizzy, you might be glad because you paid for it and you got your money's worth. Do you see the difference? When you're dizzy because you're walking through a big open department store, like say Target, and you start getting overwhelmed and dizzy, and you feel like you need to grab onto a shopping cart to steady yourself, your mind is making a completely different meaning of that experience of dizziness. It's not saying, yes, that was amazing. You got your money's worth. This is the best. Let's get in line and do it again. It's giving you a different meaning, saying, you better watch out. This is going to get worse. What if you fall down? What if you need to sit down in the middle of Target? What if you need to lie down in the middle of Target? I wonder who notices right now that you're feeling wobbly. What does this dizziness mean about me? That is your suffering. It's not the dizziness. It's never the dizziness. It's the stories your mind starts telling as soon as it catches wind of the dizziness. It's the mind that says, what if you pass out? What if you are driving when you get dizzy and you ram the car off the road? What if you this? What if you that? What if you need to lie down? What if you actually do fall and hurt yourself? That's the suffering. The suffering is living in an imagined world that is not actually happening. Because when something does actually happen where you need a response, that is when the response will arise in the moment. As it's happening, you will know what to do. If you need to lie down, you will lie down. If you need to pull a car off at the next exit, you will. Those things cannot be imagined with all the drama and all the layers and filters and have a response that's going to make sense to you, that's not scary. This again, it goes back to trusting that in the moment, you will have what you need to do what makes the most sense. And in terms of the what will people think? What will people think if I lie down right here? What will people think if I sit down in the middle of the presentation? What will people think if I hold on to something? Well, that's a whole story the mind tells in order to protect its story of who you are, in order to protect your image. So that right there is just an invitation to get curious about who you are and where your worth and your value and all the good stuff comes from. And it's never from what someone else thinks, says, or does. It is always an inside job. So I want you to just get curious about the dizziness and really see that it is not the dizziness itself that is the suffering. It's believing the meaning that your mind's giving it and believing it when it says, what if? And then turning around and saying, and you better solve for what if, or I'm not going to let you relax. That adorable mind, it is doing its job to try and protect you. But it is not telling you the truth. It is not a trustworthy little machine. It's great. It's not the enemy, but it is not trustworthy. Get curious about how that mind is telling you things that just aren't true. And then see if you can return to that space of your heart where you know what is true about you, where you know you are complete and whole, and everything is actually at its core, at your core, safe no matter what. I would like to invite you, now that this 5 days is over, if you would like to, I'm going to put in the show notes a link to contact me if you would like to be sort of part of an ongoing conversation. I run free monthly webinars that are 45 minutes each. They've been going great. I love the group that tends to show up pretty routinely in those monthly webinars. If you're at all interested, I invite you to just click on that contact button and let me know, and I'll add you to it so that you can continue the conversation, and it'll be actually interactive. It won't be you just listening to me ramble on. It'll actually be just an open opportunity for questions and answers and discussion. So I hope you'll join me. I hope this 5 days has been helpful. It's been a lot of fun to make these videos, and it's been so much fun getting some of the feedback you guys have sent. So check out the show notes below, click the button, and then also just reach out anytime through that same button and just say hi or ask a question or give some feedback. I'm always eager to hear from you, my amazing friends, subscribers, family members, anyone who's listening. I'm grateful for you, and thank you for taking the time to listen. Bye-bye.